We're gonna swim, bike, and run in the Utah sun. We're gonna swim, bike, and run St. George, Utah. 'Cause it's Breakfast with Bob. Yeehaw!
Thank you, Poncho Man. Welcome to Breakfast with Bob, St. George edition. My name is Bob Babbitt. We're brought to you by Master Spa, Zions Bank, Quintana Roo, Forum Smart Swim Goggles, Clash Endurance, Premium Plus Sports, and our Challenged Athletes Foundation, and someone who rides Quintana Roo, I think.
Yep.
Mr. Justin Metzler, what do you think of their new ride?
Oh, I love it. VPR, fastest bike I've ever been on. Yeah. Oh, need that.
Microphone. Oh, my God.
Forgot the microphone. I thought I was mic'd up. I'm so used to filming my own videos that I have my own microphone.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
So you ride the Quintana Roo.
I am on the Quintana Roo. Yeah, I'm on the new VPR, brand new bike for 2022, and by far the fastest bike that I have ever been on. So really, really excited with it.
And you're excited to be here for a World Championship.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
Been working for this for a long time.
Yeah, how much time have you spent on this course?
A bunch. Yeah, I was actually here. I think I was here for kind of the beginning of April. I spent 2 weeks training here.
Julie Dibbins camp.
Yeah, with my team. So me and Matt Hansen, Tim O'Donnell came out. Lauren Brandon was here. She just had a great race at Ironman Texas. So
yes.
Yeah, we did a ton of training. You know, the most training that you can possibly do in 2 weeks, and it was all on this course. So I've done the whole thing like a whole bunch. So I feel good about it.
So we had David McNamee on the other day, and he was saying, hey, I know it's a tough course, but people are going to be going sub-8, and people are going to run 2:35.
Yep, I agree with that.
Do you?
Yeah, I
As
do.
someone who's been on the course, okay.
Yeah, I do. I think it's really, really tough. I do think it's quick in sections.
Yes.
You know, you've got really, really tough uphills, but then you've got super fast downhills, amazing pavement, and, you know, we're at relatively, you know, a little bit higher altitude, so the air's a little bit thinner, and it's going to be nice and hot and dry. So I do think it's going to be quick, and I think the winning run time is going to be sub 2:40. So
wow, that's good to hear.
I don't disagree. Yeah, I think it's going to be a fast race, and I think it's just going to be ultra competitive. We're seeing a new level of triathlon right now, so I think it'll happen.
And dealing with that new level of triathlon, taking your game to the next level, what has been the biggest change for you?
You know, for me, I'm just kind of one of those people who just keeps plugging away. Every year, just try to get a little bit better. That's kind of my mantra, and I've just been doing this a really long time, and I just try to get like 1% better every year. And, you know, I feel like in the last 2 years, I've kind of hit that sweet spot where, you know, that actually maybe means something in professional sport. So, yeah, I'm able to actually make a little bit more of a career of it now. And so, yeah, I'm hoping to keep that upward trajectory going with my first World Champs.
As somebody who's been in this since you were, 13 years old, something like that, and you dealing with the whole COVID time where, you know, there's no money coming in. Yeah. Was there, you sort of get to a crossroads where you weren't quite sure what you're going to do moving forward?
Not really. I think like I was really, really lucky that for many of the pandemic time, COVID time was like a really stressful period in terms of not knowing where income was coming from and not knowing what the next race was going to be. But I had an awesome title sponsor come in actually like during the pandemic with Waterfall. And then, in addition to that, I was fortunate that I live in the U.S., so I was able to race a lot of the PTO races during the COVID time. I think I did 5 races in 2020, so I was pretty active, and then it also gave me an opportunity to just train a whole bunch, which I've always been one of those guys who needed to go to a bunch of races to earn a prize money check in order to just like pay bills for like rent and food and this and that. And so not necessarily having to do that or not being allowed to do that in 2020 forced me to just train a ton, and I think that's what helped me improve quite a lot in 2021.
When I look at 2021, that race in Coeur d'Alene, where you ran your way into second place, past Lionel Sanders, and just behind Sam Long, and it was brutal. I mean, it could be that here, right? We could have hot weather here. But what'd you take away from that? Because it was huge performance for you. Yeah,
I think that was definitely career shifting day for me. I think I've always felt like Ironman was a little bit more my sweet spot, and just being so young and having started so early and turning pro at 19 years old, I was always like advised to not step up to Ironman too early, just for the longevity of my career. And I think physiologically, I'm way more suited to Ironman racing, and it wasn't until I actually said, "Hey, I'm going to start racing Ironmans," that I proved myself right in that sense. That I feel like now that I'm at Ironman, this is my home. I've only done 5 Ironmans, and they've all gone well.
Yes.
Where I've done probably 170.3s or something.
And they're just too short for you.
Yeah, they're just too short, and the intensity is just a little bit too high. It's like it's such a fine line now. It's just getting such thin margins of like,
Yes.
you know, you're just going to be suited to one thing or another. So I'm one of those people where I can do 310 watts for 7 hours, and 330 watts feels really hard. It's just that thin of a margin. So Ironman racing is just a place where I feel really happy. I feel really like at home, and I get like butterflies in my stomach thinking about Ironman racing, whereas nothing else really does it the way an Ironman does, you know?
It's funny how things have changed. David McNamee again was saying he went to Ironman when he was 27. Everybody's like, oh no, Ironman's for when you're old and slow.
Sure.
Right? And now you're seeing, I think we had some 23-year-old pros,
Yeah.
you got Gustav, you got Christian, you got young guys coming in and going for the longer distance. Obviously, the depth is amazing.
Yeah.
But there's also that thought of, gosh, are they getting into it too early? But it's, you know what? If it suits your body,
Yeah.
that's what works.
Yeah, and I think you just got to do, like, this sport's way too hard to do something that you don't love. If you want to go and do something that you don't like for money, then there's plenty of other things that you can do.
That's
like,
a great line.
You got to love this. And
Yes.
you got to wake up every day and be like, I love my life. I love doing this. And
Yeah.
I really wake up every day, like, really grateful that I get to call this a job and that I get to go race Ironmans for a living. And I just, yeah, I'm really stoked that this is a dream that I had when I was a kid, and now it's like actually my reality. So
Wow,
it's pretty
and
cool.
your lovely bride is also doing the same thing. Jeanni's
Yeah.
doing this. And how do you balance that?
You know, it's not easy all the time. You know, Jeanni was second here at the 70.3 World Championships
Yep.
in St. George in 2021. So, yeah, the Metzler family name has like some good success in this part of the world. But you know, on the day to day, it's tough to have two high level athletes in the same household at all times. So you know, the energy and the balance has to shift. And so, you know, before 70.3 Worlds, it kind of shifted her direction. Now it's kind of coming back my way. And so it's good in the sense that we don't race the same races always.
Yes.
You know, with the PTO, we will do a couple of
Right.
the same, but you know, the fact that I'm more of an Ironman guy and she's more of a 70.3 lady, then you know, it works out. So we don't train together ever, and I think that's what keeps our
probably keeps
marriage
you-
healthy. Yeah, because we can just go to work. And then we come home, you know, like normal 9 to 5 couples, like go do their job, and then they come home and have dinner and catch up on their day. And when we first got together, we would train together, we'd eat together, hang out together, and it was just like so much. And then, you know, we got married, and next thing you know, we're like, hey, for this to be sustainable, we need like some alone time, or like I need some time with the boys. Me and Tim just need to like go ride for 6 hours, and I need to go hang out with Matt, and we need to go for a run or this and that. So
As you've gotten better and better, can you still train with the guys you have to race against?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I think, you know, I keep my circle pretty tight.
Yeah.
You know, my two main training partners are Matt Hansen and Tim O'Donnell, two pretty great mentors.
Who
to
you had
have.
a poster of when you were a kid.
Yes, exactly,
So
yeah.
You probably remind Tim, you're so old, I've got a poster of you on my wall.
You know, the real defining factor between that really shows Tim and I's age difference is like when we will listen to music, or he'll be like humming a song or listening to a song. I have no idea what song he's humming, never, and he's got no idea what I'm listening to. So we have so much in common, but that's one thing where it's just like total opposites. But we have a really, really good kind of like working relationship.
Yeah.
Me, Matt, and Tim. You know, we all, I think on Saturday, Tim's not racing, but Matt is. I think if there's any person who I'm going to lose to, I hope it's Matt. He's the one person who I will be happy if he's like ahead of me and we're both having our best absolute day. Everyone else, not so much. But I really genuinely do want someone like Matt to do well, just because, and I think that he would say the same for me.
Yeah.
Because I think we've just been through a lot together. Really hard training, lots of work, sacrifice, commitment, everything. So
Love it. And what are the goals for Saturday?
I haven't been shy that I'd like to be in the top 10.
Yeah.
That would be a really, really big result for me. My number one A goal is to qualify for Kona.
Right.
You know, in Coeur d'Alene, I had qualified for Kona, which has been a goal of mine for 15 years. You know, pretty much waking up every day and being like, hey, I'm trying to get to Kona as a long-term vision. To go to Coeur d'Alene, qualify for Kona, and then have it shift to here. On one hand, it's frustrating because you know, you don't have Kona. It's its own thing. But on the other hand, like, I'm really excited to race my first World Championship. So I'm hoping that this can potentially be a stepping stone, and to qualify for Kona here, I think feels right. And it's obviously going to make my year a little bit easier. So that's my A goal. Top 10 would be an awesome secondary goal. But really, like I said, I just want to have a good time.
Exactly.
I'm here for fun. No eyes are on me. I'm the most under the radar guy here. I'm in awesome shape, the best shape I've ever been in going to an Ironman. So it's all to play for. I'm just here for good vibes, good fun, That's it.
Enjoy it all, man.
Yeah.
Poncho Man, take us out.
We're gonna swim, bike, and run in the Utah sun. We're gonna swim, bike, and run, St. George, Utah, and breakfast with Bob. Yeehaw!
Thank you, Poncho Man. Hold on, everybody. We will be right back.